Yo, 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 2-2 away at Villa Park. I'm joined by Connor, and we're going to discuss this game. Greetings, everyone. OMONDI Juma here from the Man United Agenda. We just finished watching live watch-along and Man United versus Villa. We were 2-0 up, closed back to 2-2, and that's a point for us in the Premiership on our mission to get back into the top four. So I'm joined today by Connor, all the way from the States. How you doing, Connor?
I'd be doing better if we won that game 2-1. I predicted 2-1, and I was going, you know what, 2-1, that's fine. I predicted it. It's 3 points, and the goal goes in. I'm like, oh, now I'm sad.
Boy, where do we start?
UK, you guys can sleep it off. You guys can go sleep it off now, but it's not even noon here. I have to go the rest of the day thinking about it.
Oh God! I'm just gonna go through the lineup because obviously we knew that McTominay and Shaw would be out of the game going in. Yeah. So we had to start with De Gea. Right back was Dalot, Lindelof and Varane, same as on Monday. And Telles came in left back for Shaw, naturally. In the midfield too, because we did play at 4-2-3-1. You agree with that?
It was I think it was a 4-2-3-1. Can sometimes transition. See, this is the thing though, is we didn't see it so much at the end of the game, but when we were really rolling, we were really playing three different formations. We had the 4-2-3-1 when we were when we were attacking, we were in a 4-2-3-1, but when we were defensive, it was more like a 4-1-4-1. And we also kind of sometimes transitioned to a 4-3-3. So we really were at our peak, really fluidly switching between three different formations, especially with how far forward we saw Fred getting, all that kind of stuff. I think it was very fluid, and then we stopped being fluid with our formation because everybody was tired, and that's where
I agree with you. That's a good observation. I did notice that myself. So that's something I think is positive for us because the players can be flexible like that. So we had Fred and Matic. Ahead of them, we had Elanga, who played from the left. Bruno maybe played a lot deeper today, which I thought was brilliant of him. Yeah. And Greenwood was on the right, and Cavani up front. So that was our starting lineup against this Aston Villa side, who we're very familiar with, considering we played them the other day, and they kind of dominated us in the FA Cup game, even though we got the result. Yeah. Today, they were at home. They had the 12th man with the fans behind them, and they were really on it, weren't they? So
at one point, it sounded like we were at a home match. I was thinking 2-0 after Bruno scored. For about 5 minutes, all you could hear was United fans. You couldn't hear a peep out of the Villa fans because United fans were shouting too loudly.
So already I'm seeing some comments coming in, question marks about Ranrick already, and we were bad. This is from H. How you doing, H? So I'm going to start with you, Connor. I'm just going to fire away because I want you to sort of just to cover these points for me. So the result, we were 2-0 up. Is there any issue in your punchy point? Is there any issue with in-game management? Because we're 2-0 up, you'd think we'd be able to control. Because Rannick's always talk about controlling games. We're 2-0 up in a position away from home. Is there any issue with you with in-game management? Do you think you should have done something to secure the result?
I think for me, we just stopped playing possession. We stopped pressing. If you look, our top three stopped pressing completely. And I don't know if that was Ranić going, okay, let's sit back now and let them try and come to us because now they really got to score and we can take that and try and get a third goal on a counter, or what was happening. But you could tell the press really stopped happening towards the end of the game, and that's where they actually started to get, once they got possession advantage, that was huge. When we had possession and we had the advantage, where first 30 minutes, I think it was like 65-35 or something like that, and they had zero shots.
United.
Yeah, we had 65% possession, right, I think, in the first 30 minutes, and they had not even a shot on goal, let alone on target.
So if you're a boss, you're 2-0 up, what are you going to do? How would you go about making the changes to make it the result, the 3 points? Because that's all that matters. So
I still would have brought in Elanga. I still would have brought up Elanga for Sancho because I do think he had a little bit of a knock. He was wincing heavily on the sidelines, getting looked at by a trainer when he was on the bench. I would have taken Cavani out. I think Cavani was great.
There's been a few.
I think Cavani wasn't having a great game. He was decent pressing-wise, but the thing is he was good pressing, but when we actually had the ball is when his ability kind of slipped. He wasn't as good when we were in possession than he was when we were pressing. And at that point, you want somebody who's going to be able to hold it. And people will instantly call it the Martial is perfect for this, but we needed somebody who really was going to be able to hold up the ball and keep possession and keep it tidy. Tidiness is the key in football, especially when you're winning. And then I would have made the subs earlier. I don't think the 80th minute was time to make them. And then my third, I think Matic needed to come out or Bruno needed to come out because both were on yellow cards, and it's really hard to go in for a tackle and stop an attack from happening, or going in to try and get the ball to start an attack of your own when you're on a yellow, because you mess it up even a little bit and you're gone.
Okay, so just to summarize, the question was any issue with in-game management, guys? We were 2-0 up. This is to you guys in the comments, and Connor's saying that we stopped pressing. Maybe we should have made substitution. We felt Elanga taking a knock. Maybe we would have brought on Sancho a bit earlier. Sancho came on about 75 minutes, just went once they scored, actually. And also, what was your final point, Connor?
I think Cavani should have come off. Cavani and either Matic or Bruno should have come off. Having players on yellow is hard. Having players on yellow is hard trying to close out games.
I don't agree with you with the pressing point. I think we in the first half we were soaking it up, letting them play in defence, and we got, like you said, we were able to adapt our formation, sit back with maybe a 4-5-1, and say play through us. And this is with Cavani in our own half, and we were quite secure, quite compact with that. The pressing issue, I think we pressed them once they got into our half. That's when we pressed them. We didn't press them high, which I felt was suitable for us. The other 2 points, I definitely agree with you. I think we should have won 2-0 up with the Villa on it, and they were really trying their best. They really played real well out there. We should have maybe just made it a bit more compact, like he did last week. He brought off Cavani and brought on Donny van de Beek, and he said after that we had more control of the game. So, but I'm not having a go at Ralph. I do just think when you get in a position like that, we have to just secure it, and it's not being negative; it's just being positive to get the result.
2-0 is the most dangerous lead in sports. I've heard it in hockey. I've heard it in soccer. I've heard it in baseball. 2-0 is the most uncomfortable lead you can have, because 2-0, you think you're comfortable. You think you can relax a little bit, and that's where you get killed. 1-0, just like when we came on in the second half, if one goal is the decider, you're still playing your heart out to try and get one more because you know one goal ties it. 2-0, though, you think you can relax a little bit. 3-0, you've pretty much put the game away. And I think that's what killed us, was we eased. Steve's got it perfectly here. We eased off once we went up 2-0 and let them basically play their game.
I think you made some good points about that, because they get the momentum. As soon as they get that one goal, they will be pushing, as they demonstrate today. Just to go to the comments about this point about in-game management, being 2-0 up and letting it back in. Matthew Bassett asked, where the leaders? He's saying Matic was sloppy. What are our expectations? What are we aiming for this season, says GMSLTD. Steve Fletcher says, can't let a 2-0 lead slip to Stevie G. Slip. Pardon the pun, he's saying there. Very funny there, Steve. Boxer saying Donny van de Beek is wasted. We're not going to focus on all these points, but evening all. Villa says Liverpool fan. Ole Kunle, how you doing, man? Mark Edmund, how you doing? All the way from Australia. He's saying Cavani looks shattered. I think Connor did sort of almost mention that as well. Mark Edmund said, if I have an issue with Ralph, it was too slow to make the subs, as Connor also highlighted. Big up, Mr. B. Question here, do you think Ralph will force the Glazers to buy a midfielder now? We'll come on to that. That's a good question. And Steve Fletcher again says, we eased off. We allowed them into the game, and the legs went out of midfield. Should have subbed Cavani and for Donny van de Beek, like we did the other day. Put Mason up top and contain them. So good advice here from the people in the panel, from the people in the comments, sorry. And Boxer saying, Matic, too sloppy to start games. I disagree. And finally, looks, it's not bad as it looks. If you recall, when Klopp came, our lads used to run out of legs in the 70th minute. That's from the press kind of thing. So thank you, guys. All right, moving on to the next
point to make, actually. Who would have been perfect to come on in this match?
Who?
Dennis Zakaria.
Okay.
Absolutely perfect to come on in about the 60th minute.
Just for example, I think Fred had an assist. We had 2 assists, in my opinion. He provided them with a goal. But I thought when we were like 2-1 up, I'm seeing him going ahead of the play, and I'm thinking, why are you doing that? It's not the time to press. He was going ahead of the play and then having to track back, and I'm thinking, you're killing us out here. But anyway, Zakaria, good player. He would definitely be keep us secure in that midfield. Second question to you, Connor, and the people out there. in Man United agenda world. Considering we've seen Villa make 2 first teams additions to their squad, that would be Coutinho and Coutinho, and they had impact. Does this prompt Man United to sign now? Does it prompt us to go out there and sign? And I say that because you just mentioned Zakaria. So
I think it has to. It has to.
What do you think? Okay.
With our midfield, it has to. We see what happens now when you bring in people that have when you bring in people to fit what you need to improve. They needed to improve at left back. They brought in Digne, who I think is actually a pretty solid player, and I think he had a decent game today. He got shown levels at some point. I definitely think he was very close to getting sent off at some points, but he played well. Coutinho comes on. While I don't think he should have got that goal, because I think Varane should have cleared that out, he definitely had an impact. I think if you're Manchester United, you have to make a move. You cannot continue to go with who you have. When you have players like Kamara, like Kessié, like Zakaria on a free, 6 million, you can't ignore that, especially when that seems to be our biggest problem. I think, honestly, defender's still our biggest problem. Bailly looks to be on his way out, especially with him gone also at AFCON. So that really leaves us Maguire, Lindelof, and
Jones.
And Jones as well. But, Jones honestly had a great game last game, but he's still very, it's one game. I'm not going to say that he's amazing after one game. So I think we still need another defender as well. But this has to get into – Ralph needs to go, look what's happened. If I had Zakaria or I had Kessié, he goes in, solidifies that midfield, and we see this game out 2-0.
I totally agree with you. So that was highlighted today. So basically, from today's result, 2-0 up, we should have had players on the bench as Manchester United and players that we've been interested in. You make a great point about Dennis Zakaria and the other players like Kamara and even Kessié and all these guys. They're the sort of guys who come in, they're experienced enough to sort of control the game and see it out. I think you have to sort of rotate these guys because at the moment, McTominay, Fred, and I'm not going to have a go at Matic. I thought Matic was great today. I know there's comments saying he's not, but I thought he was really just controlled and professional today.
I think he was solid, but he couldn't play his game how he wanted to once he picked up the yellow. It's really hard to put, if you're a bashing kind of get stuck in midfielder, it's really hard to play your game when you're sitting on a yellow and the next tackle that you make could be a foul that sends you off.
So just to go to the comments about this point, so as we were saying, Aston Villa just bought 2 new signings and they're first team signings, I imagine, and they've come in and they had an impact today. Does this highlight how Man United now need to, during this window, need to sign somebody based on this game, being 2-0 up and not having the players on the bench, or I'm not blaming Ralph, not being able to see out the game, and Connor agrees, just coming here, Liverpool falling behind City year on year, yep, we agree. This is Ole says you won't have European football next season, so your squad should be fresh for second half, 9th place finish. He's having a little joke there. Okay, here we go with some sensible comments. Mark Edmund said, yeah, for sure, we need more midfielders. Was that highlighted for you today, Mark? Big up. Yeah, smash a like. Thank you, Steve Fletcher. We've got 10 likes at the moment. Wait, hold on a minute. 10 likes. Can we get 25? Come on, guys. If you're watching, even YouTube, just press the like button. Do it now. Actually, stop what we're doing. Do it right now. Do it right now. Just for me.
We've now conceded 2 more goals than Burnley has. But then again, Burnley, we've got about 4 games in hand on Burnley. And it makes me laugh because that comes from a journo. And it just shows how much bias there is to basically crap on United consistently when right now Burnley's played 17 games and we just played our 20th or 21st. And he's going, Burnley's given up 2 less than United. Well, fuck it, of course. There's been 4 games between the 2 of them that haven't been played. Of course they haven't given up as many goals. I swear, journalists, I think if you get that heavy of a bias against Man United, you get your credentials taken away.
But I think, unfortunately,
I think this ref needs to go.
We're such a big club that we're always going to be under scrutiny, as you see. A result like this, even though it's a good draw, you could say it's a good point away from home. Based on what I saw the other day, it is a good point, apparently, because they were playing better than us at Old Trafford. And to get a point away from home, even though we were in control of the game, we were 2-0 up, everything else, you just have to take it and move on and just try to look at the positives from the game. I think
it's 2 points drop, though. I think either way, if you're 2-0 up, it's 2 points drop.
But look at what's been happening. Did we show more character today, do you think, Connor, based on what Ronaldo was saying about the character, the mentality of the thing? Didn't you said we started really well? We had 65% possession. So do you think we showed a bit more character?
We did for a bit. We did the first 30, 40 minutes, and then we let off the gas. I do think this referee needs to go back down to his level in non-league, though.
Okay, we're going to come to that.
His level is non-league. He needs to go back.
We're going to come to that because you said to me before the show about the ref, and I've had time to sort of soak that up and think about it. I'm not so sure. I might disagree with you, but we're going to come to that point in a minute. Let's just go through. Steve saying this is about signings, the window being open. Glazers will tell Ralph he's got the budget to buy, but they mean you must sell first. Okay. Matic was excellent for me. Me too, Mark. Me too. I thought Matic was really not. Look, I'm not going to say he was outstanding, but I thought, wow, without him, where would we be? He's such a cool customer, and I felt we needed him today. Really quality player. Question from Rebel says, question for OMONDI regarding Matic. Could you not say he disappeared in the second half? No, not at all. I can go into detail, but we're going to move on. Just do the comments first. Steve Fletcher says, is it me or were we getting yellows for soft tackles and Villa were getting away with stamps? Okay, here we go. Do you want to step in on this one? Because you were saying about the ref. I didn't see this, but go on, now. What's your issue with the referee today?
Let's see. Can we just plain and simple look at the fact that a Villa player was able to literally put his spikes into the calf and Achilles heel of Bruno, and they didn't even give a foul. You look at it, that's a red card. He should have been sent off. We should have been a man up for about 40 minutes, but he doesn't even give a foul. And I agree with what was said. It seemed like they were getting all these fouls called against us for soft things, and we got yellows for some really soft fouls. But then we'd get fouled and there'd be nothing. And I look at it and go, if you're really looking at this and you're not wearing bias blinders, there's about 6 cards that should have gone. There should have been 6 yellows against Villa and probably at least 1 or 2 reds. It was a disgraceful game by the ref. And I get Bath is upset about the tactics, and I get that because you can be upset about the tactics letting us down because we could have won that game in spite of the ref. It could have been the ref was terrible, but we won 2-0 in spite of it. We won 2-1 in spite of it. But when we end up drawing that game, and there's basically the clear and obvious thing that we should have been a man up, which, Amanda, you can agree, when you're a man up, you can control the game a little bit better. When you're not having to push for a goal and you're up a man, you can control the game pretty well. So I definitely think it has an impact. It has a impact on the decision.
Just to counteract you, studs up on you, Connor, I'm going to say this. I like football. I like football played hard, and this is the English game. And I think that what's been happening lately, you can't tackle anymore. You can't be aggressive. And I think it was fair today. There's nothing I saw today to say that there should have been sending offs or over the top of yellows or unbiasedness. I don't think it was like a robbery thing. So I maybe have to go and review the game again. But what I would say, I've been complaining a lot over the last few months that we can no longer tackle. Fouls are given for stupidness. It's a physical game, and I like the atmosphere today. I thought it was a good atmosphere, and we were up for it. We were charged up, and they got charged up when they went 2-0 down. When they went 2-1, they got charged up again. They were on it, and they showed a lot of character, and as we did as well. So I like to see that in English football, and I think the referee sometimes has to use his discretion to judge. It's a fiery game. Let things go. You have to let things slide a little bit. If it's something like outrageous, I didn't see anything outrageous, but if it's something like that, but I do accept your point, maybe about the ref. But I don't what it is. I don't want to be seen like, oh, we drew, so we're going to start complaining about the ref. I know you're not doing that.
It was. I'm going to call the ref shit, but this should have been a game that we won in spite of. And I saw Rebel's comment. It wasn't the one where Watkins picked him up, which should have been a yellow. You're not allowed to pick somebody up when they're on the ground because you fouled them. That's just you. You can't do that. I don't understand how a egregious breaking of the rule book just gets overlooked because this dude's got beer goggles on and he doesn't get a yellow to Watkins, because you can't do that. It's not even, oh, you shouldn't be doing that, or oh, that's not okay. You are literally in the rules not allowed to try and pick up a player when they're on the ground because of an injury or because of a foul.
Let's move on. Let's just go through. So Mark Edmonds saying Matic did tire for around 70 minutes. He felt Matic was poor, bullied in 2 weeks, says Modbox. So there's a divided opinion here. Yep, that's right, Mark. That's right. Tell them to press that blood clot button. Let's get it going now. Matic should have led, kept calm, dictated play, kept the ball. He did nothing, gave away fouls and got bullied, apparently. UK Strange, how you doing? He said, "I've lost all my hair watching United. Stress is killing him. What to spend money?
Allow it.
Manager, you already got Devonny van de Beek with 2 games. No one on the bench for you. £75 million Sancho. Yeah, I agree with Yank. Here we go for Steve. Steve agrees with you, Connor. He says, I think they use United because they know that they get a few more minutes of attention like fame whores. That's a good comment. I like that one. Everyone's gutted. Villa, since Gerrard arrived, have been a very good side, informed side, very aggressive as well. Not being, this is from Rebel, not a good point being 2-0 up, to be honest. That's correct. Anthony Herbert says, good game. This was a point deserved by the 2 teams, by both teams. So it's a fair result from the neutral. Bath time, how you doing, man? He says, I'm gutted. We were lucky to get a point at effing Villa Park. Ref is here we go. So people do agree with you, Connor, about the referee. There is an issue there. And I don't care about the ref. It's the tactics that repulsed Bath time. So just moving on.
I can get that.
Yeah, lastly, the final point I want to talk about, well, not the final point, but can we just quickly give a little discussion about Elanga? Because you wanted to bring up Elanga, Connor, about his performance today, because obviously Rashford's been getting a lot of stick lately. He's come in. This is, I think it's only his 5th appearance, his Premiership appearance. He's played 20 minutes or something this season. Can you just give me a quick summary assessment of what you saw from this young boy today?
Especially when Sancho came on, he played better than Sancho did when he came on. He's played better than Rashford really has these last couple games. I think you look at it, and he's played fantastic. He was given a chance to do something and given a chance to show, hey, I can get my minutes. I don't think he was amazing, but I think he proved he needs more time. He needs to get more opportunities. That this being his 5th appearance is not something that should be consistent. I think, he pressed very well when he was up there with Cavani. I think at one point I said that Cavani was having his 2 apprentices in Greenwood and Elanga up there with him, showing him how to press, and all 3 of them were pressing well together. And I think he did well. I think he could have finished. He could have had a couple goals at one point. He had a couple shots where he could have scored. I think he did well. I think he deserves more time.
Guys, what do you think about Elanga, guys? Put your comments in there. My little assessment on Elanga, I thought he done pretty well today. Obviously, he's playing wide from the left. I think what he gives you, when you compare, obviously, he was like for like with Sancho. Sancho came on. I love Sancho. He's a great player, but he hasn't got the burst, and he's not as rapid. Elanga seems to have that sort of burst of pace. He could drive at the defender, and the defender knew he can just go and leave him for dust, So I think he's got that in his game. He's very intelligent as well. He's not overawed, doesn't seem overawed when he comes on the pitch. And it makes you wonder. I remember a couple of years ago when Pepe was signed by Arsenal, and I'm thinking, well, they had Saka to come in the same position. So sometimes you think, you need to bring in your youths and give them the opportunity. Because we spent money on Sancho. I'm glad we did. It's a great addition to the squad and maybe for the first team going forward. But Elanga looks like a decent prospect. And we got a few more coming through the ranks. So it's really pleasing as a Man United fan to see a guy like Elanga come through. Obviously, he scored a couple of goals in the Prem as well. And he scored a couple of goals in the Cup games for us. So I'm happy with him, especially with his drive and his ability to sort of scare defenders with his pace and technical ability. So, yeah, and he scored a header as well. I remember he scored a header early on when he came on. So I'm up for Elanga. He gets the thumbs up from me and from Connor for sure. So can we just go through the team quickly? And the last point I was going to make as well, just quickly, I was going to ask you guys about, right, we all watched the game on Monday and we all felt that Villa were very good. So is just based on that alone, obviously being 2-0 up, but do you think that's a fair result? And do you think we're on par with Villa at the moment? No, we have to ask the question. Are we on par with Villa? Is that our level at the moment?
No, we're not on par with the 13th place team.
Okay.
We're not on par with the third. They're 13th now that they've gotten the draw with us. We should have. That should be a game that when you're looking at it, we're up 2-0. You're going, this is exactly what we should be doing against Villa away. And it was gonna be, and I mentioned it, and I hope I didn't jinx it, that we would have been the first team to reach 300 wins away in the Premier League era. Oh, wow. No other team has. We are on 299 away wins in the Premier League era. No other team is close to us right now.
Okay, so just I'm going to go through the team and go through. I'm just going to go through my notes, what I made from the game. So Varane missed the opportunity to cut out the cross. That was for the goal. Otherwise, he thought I didn't really have many mistakes, but I think after a while, yeah, that goal at the end there, he maybe could have positioned himself better, looked around, see what was on, and maybe positioned himself in a place where he could have cut that out as an interception.
I think that was Ron's worst game for us.
I went to Fred. Fred, I said, was playing the wrong side of plays a couple of times, pressing when he didn't need to press. You've got to let them play through you. Don't give them the opportunity to play around you by going to press sometimes. I put the word terrible. I know he gave an assist, but it's a simple pass, and this is what his game is. But
I think everybody was terrible towards the end.
Yeah, I thought mentally that was terrible. Matic dropping into the back four on the build-up of play, very composed, secure on the ball, and I think he's a major asset to us. And I've just put with Greenwood, not enough contribution. He's playing wide, and I don't think he gives you much contribution where he's playing balls across 6-yard box or beating a man and crossing it in. I didn't see that. That's why Cavani was out of sorts, because he's not getting that service. Likewise with Elanga, even though I've just built him up, I don't think for our wide men or our fullbacks we were getting much service in there.
There wasn't a lot of crossing in. A lot of when Greenwood no longer got the ball, they were shooting instead of passing.
Yeah, and finally, my last point, which I want to discuss with you lot now, when Ralph come in and he said 30% of goals come from set pieces. We haven't scored a attacking set piece this season. I suppose today the first goal was a set piece. I think it was a training ground move. He obviously stepped over the ball, rolled it, and the guy Bruno was able to bring it closer to the goal, have a shot, and we scored. So I would say that's a set piece, and maybe our first set piece move this season. It shows we've been working on it in the training ground. Would you agree, Connor? And what do you guys in the comments think about that?
I would agree that it's a set piece goal, but I don't think it's something that we can go look at this. We can score on set pieces now, because that was someone mentioned it. That was Karius 2.0, and I was given Martinez the big bollock celebration when he let that goal in.
Yeah,
but so I think you can count it as a set piece goal. But do I think this means that we're good at set pieces? No, not at all. Because if you have any other goalie in there or he doesn't make a mistake, then we're still over.
All right, guys, we're counting down last few minutes to the show. Make sure you push your finger on that like button. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe now. And I'm coming to you guys now, the people in the comments. I'm going to read out your comments. You want to stop me on something, Connor? We've got a few minutes left. Let's go. Matic is finished, says Bots. We need to get a defensive midfielder quick. He agrees with you. Hi, Gareth Shottin. How you doing, man? Welcome to the channel. Make sure you press the like and make sure you join us at the Man United Agenda family with all the other boys here. Liverpool not winning yet. That's the argument with Ola. Bath time again says it's not the midfield that has the biggest issues. The forwards was absolutely doo-doo today.
I have some points on that, but I'd have to disagree.
Okay, Gareth is saying Lang was class. Just winding down now. Langer was fine. Didn't play that well, says Bath time. Here we go with Rebel. Rebel says sobering thought. Also, both our goals came from Villa mistakes. Okay, fair enough. First goal was something like characters, used to do for Liverpool, as this Connor just mentioned. Maguire was poor. He didn't even play. Cavani was terrible and responsible.
Yeah, I think he was. That was the worst game I've seen him play for us. Same with
in a word, better than Rashford, says Box. In a word,
yeah.
Okay. Bath time. What did Langer do? Did he link up play? Did he create? Okay, fair enough. I thought Bruno was brilliant today, by the way. Elanga's exciting. Just needs to be patient with him, says Steve Fletcher's a young player. Yeah. Gareth again. Sorry, big it up with all the comments. He said he had 5 close chances in the first half with the game, with more game time.
That was a long day. Yeah,
that's a good.
Convert one of those, and it's a great game for him.
Did more than Rashford done in the last 2 years. Okay, Elanga has put Sancho in the shade with his performance. Big up to you. He plays better without the ball than with the ball. That's not good enough. Shrewd again by Bath time. Bath time, I respect your opinion though. Everyone agrees to TalkMU. Box ain't the truth. Yeah, there's a lot of agreement here. High fives all around in the comments. Sancho needs to raise it. He looks shook. Okay, so I'm just gonna come through. Bruno, hold on a minute. Bruno put in the worst 2-goal performance I think I've seen. I thought Bruno was brilliant today. He dropped in deep and made us more compact, especially in the first half. His ability on the ball was really good. That's what we need. Dalot's second half was like.
Agreed. I agree. No, it was awful. It was absolutely awful.
You guys, I love you guys, man. Brilliant. Tellez scored a set piece in the Champions League. And we'll do good. Talk about Langer. We just can't be treating it like the average Rashford, as in giving him a big contract, that sort of thing. And finally, Steve Fletcher says the midfield connect the play to the forwards. The forwards are having to drop deep to get into the game and making runs and not being fouled.
Agreed.
Top points, man. All right, guys, on that note, we're going to sign out. Thanks for I hope you guys tuned into the watch along, because TalkMU and Mr. B were on it today. They were really sort of gave a good commentary, don't you think? And,
yeah, no, Mondi, I gotta say, Mr. B and Talk, big up you guys, because that was a phenomenal watch along from start to finish to watch. I was watching it from the very beginning, and it was phenomenal the entire way through.
And don't forget, on Wednesday we're going to Brentford, so we're going to be down at Brentford doing interviews, and hopefully we get some points down there. Even though it's a tough league, isn't it? It's tough. It's relentless, you know. But big up. What I want to say to you guys as well, thanks to everyone in the comments. I want to say welcome back, Connor. Happy New Year. It's great having you on. I loved what you contribute. You've got great insight in football, or should I say soccer. But big up, man. Hopefully see you again soon. And
yeah, happy to be back. Definitely going to get back into it.
You're my man in the match, Connor. That's it.
Man of the match for me is De Gea.
For me, I was going to say Matic, but I think Bruno was man in the match. He's just marvelous on the ball and a great player, especially when he comes in deep, playing as number 8 more than the number 10. I thought he was fantastic. So yeah, big up, guys, in the comments. We will see you soon. Make sure you press the reminder bell, and we're out here. So God bless. Bye bye.